Hey!
Okay, Paula, first of all, you're supposed to wait a minute, but I'm glad I invited you. Just jump right in, why don't you? So hold on, before we dive all the way in, because you know how we do things. Hi, everybody. My name is Stella Hull Lampkin. I am the board chair for the Pilates Method Alliance. And in case you haven't noticed, I am so happy to have Paula Marie with me. Online, yeah. Our first time presenter at the Pilates Method Alliance conference. She's presenting the 1, 2, 3s of marketing for your fitness business, because you know it's all about the money. So I am going to start asking you some questions, Paula, but before I do, I want you to tell me one super cool thing that nobody knows about you right now.
I'm in Savannah, Georgia, waiting on this storm.
I am sending out good vibes to you, and I'm hoping that you're gonna conquer that storm, and you're going to meet us in October for the Pilates Method Alliance. We are back at the M Resort this year. It's going to start on October 20th, but October 19th is the research forum. October 20th, the event opened, and you're presenting on Friday, October 21st. Her session starts at 9 a.m. and it goes to 10:45. And, you know, it's all about marketing. We're all trying to get the word out about our business. So what are 3 key takeaways? Because you said 1, 2, 3. So, you know, I'm going to keep with that theme. So give me 3, not West Coast, but 3 takeaways for your workshop.
So you're going to learn the difference between being a creator and being a business owner.
So what do you mean? I mean, I get creative, because as Pilates instructors, we're all really creative, but how do we separate that? I know you're going to I don't want you to give me all the 411, but give me a little taste.
So being a creative, we're really good in the studio. We're really good with bodies. Like that's the passion. That's where our heart comes from, right? But then we get a little disoriented when it comes to organizing what we need for the business. And because of that, we make decisions that aren't the best for the business because we don't know. So I'm going to give you the blueprint of what you absolutely have to know when you're opening your own online business or standalone studio, because I did have a standalone studio as well back in 96, when I opened that. So being a business owner, it's like you got to have 2 hats. I've been gifted enough. I feel like my superpowers are that I excel in both. I love business. I love money. And so I also want to teach you, number 2, what's the most important thing when you're talking to your clients, right? So you're not competing against each other, but that you stand alone and people look at you head above everybody else, not because you're better than, but because you're giving exactly what they want and need and desire. That's number 2. And number 3, I'm going to show you how to do it. Like, I'm just going to show you how to do it because it's simple, but because we're creatives, it becomes a little muddy. So
that sounds so exciting. So being a former business owner, I no longer own my own studio anymore. I understand the multiple hat things, as you are doing many things besides running your business, but marketing. But the other thing I've heard you talking about is us finding our niche, so to speak. What is that special sauce that makes us different from everybody else? How do you accomplish that and not create what I call that competitive environment?
You got to know who you're talking to. And sometimes we get so focused on what we've got to say and what we want to present into the world, we forget the one person that we need to be talking to. That one, if you were having a dialogue with one client, that you could definitely help with how you affect change in the world, with your gifts, with your superpowers. What would you say to that one client? And then understand that there are millions of clients that are just like that one. So the conversation has to shift from being this big, broad conversation to having more of an intimate conversation that makes that client feel like she's talking directly to me? How did she know that I felt this way? Or how did she know that this is what my body is going through? Or how did she know? Like, you have to start having more intimate conversations through your marketing and how you show up in the world.
So will this cover, because we are kind of living in a hybrid world. I know you said you're doing studio and online, but will this also cover digital marketing as well as what I call the guerrilla face-to-face marketing?
So I focus primarily on digital marketing, but the digital marketing sharpens your face-to-face marketing. You gotta really cultivate what I call your authentic visual brand voice. Like, when you speak, your words should have color. They should fly across the room, like, you know, like the metaverse. Look like. So when you get very clear and finite about who you're talking to, what you're going to say, your why, your big why for even doing it in the first place, and you get really clear about the one person you're speaking to, then the conversation becomes broad enough for you to have the face-to-face as well as digital, because digital marketing is it's rampant right now. I think what COVID showed us is that you can do all things online, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then the bad thing on it, the other side of the coin, is you can do all things online. And so people are saying that interpersonal relationship that they yearn to have. So that's why vacations are skyrocketing. That's why people are coming into the studios more. People want to be connected to something, even if we're still in this phase of going through all the viruses in the world. We still want to be connected to something. So if they can go online and get the same, you know, person that in person when they see you that they did online, the connection is the same, nothing changed. The personality was the same. It matched your words. You know, your energy in person was the same as it was in digital on the picture. Now they're connected with you even more. And so people want to be connected. And I just did a workshop on people want to be inspired. And so, just to, not to plug anything, but I'm also a Pinterest strategist, and I'm in the middle of a Pinterest coaching program right now. And Pinterest is the #1 inspirational channel, more so than magazines and TV. When people are inspired, they spend more money. That's what the survey said. So who are you inspiring when you have these one-on-one conversations?
Mm-hmm.
We've got to get to a place where we're attracting and not repelling, because we're selling all the time. So the conversation has to change.
So we're basically, you're asking us all to show up as our authentic selves, no matter how we represent our brand.
And what does that mean? And how colorful is it? And who are you speaking to? And what benefits do you slay in the world?
Girl, that's a whole almost like therapy session when you're sitting down trying to figure out your marketing.
Yeah. Most of my clients come in and they're like, I just want to get more clients, right? But we gotta like peel back the layers of like, and why did you do this in the first place? Because this doesn't match your why. We've gotten away from it, right? Because now you got to compete with the Peters and the Janes and the Malikas and the Paulas and the Stellas and the Corins. And no, there's no competition when you're yourself.
Right.
And who's for you is for you. So you just got to learn how to trust that the universe will bring people around that are for you. But that's a big trust, especially when it comes to business. Because remember, we got into it for the passion to touch lives and change bodies and make people feel better. We didn't get into it to look at analytics and algorithms, growth charts, and what payment processor is going to work better. We didn't get into it for that.
There's credit card processing fees and business plans and and taxes. Yeah, the list goes on. But it's not to discourage anybody. I think Pilates industry itself has spawned so many, I don't want to say spawned, given birth to so many entrepreneurs, and it's such a fertile ground for entrepreneurship, whether you working as an independent contractor to opening up your own studio or even a consulting business like your own. I just feel like there's so many nuances and places and opportunities. Again, as you said, if we all show up as our authentic selves and find out what our why is, you attract what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is that because Pilates is so big, sometimes we don't allow ourselves to step into other pockets of the Pilates industry. We're Pilates instructors, so that's what it is. But you may be an amazing speaker. You may have great video, a technical background. There are those of us that need to know in this day and age, how do we, use video to the maximum benefit? What platforms do we use it on? You could be a great educator. You could be a great behind the scenes person, like web design and email marketing and all of those different things. It could be, how do we grow a business from scratch on, less than 5,000? That could be your thing because you did that thing, right? There's so many people that want to know that based off of how you bumped your head, how you scraped, because your hard lessons are going to make it easier for everyone else to not make those same mistakes. But there are no mistakes in this journey. They're just lessons. So everything that we do, we're learning how to replicate it. If you can't replicate the thing that worked, you don't know it. So we've got to do things that we can replicate easily so that we know how to generate revenue easily. It's not, let me figure it out every single time. And sometimes you need somebody who has the brainwidth to put it together in bullets so you can replicate it. But business is about replicating it until it doesn't work anymore. Mm-hmm. And it will not always work all the time. As the world evolves and changes, as the world ebbs and flows, and as things trend in and out, you gotta be a little resilient and just kind of bouncy to go with the flow. And for me and my Capricornism, that's hard. I like to train. But the thing I know is that I can make money. I know how to flip it and make money. So because I know that, even when I'm banging my head against the wall, I have to talk to myself in my Capricornism and say, you know how to make money, so pivot and change.
Yeah, I your words speak volumes to all of us, because what I find when I transitioned from being a full-time instructor to being more of a managerial position or leadership role, I look back on my journey and I'm like, why did we all spend so much money and time in learning repertoire and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and yet we never spent or invested in the time to learn business. I mean, I'm blessed to have a degree, but some of us didn't have that. And how come we never really thought, oh my gosh, I should learn more about the business side of this. And it's more than just having space, putting equipment in it, and opening the doors with a wish, like, I'm here.
That's not fun though. Like,
no.
Putting a sign on the door is fun, and ordering equipment is really fun, and painting the walls and seeing your name on that's fun. But like I said, the other part for some isn't. For me, it's fun. I like money. I like to see money come in, But I was telling a friend of mine, because she's here for a business conference and I'm actually here with her. And I like spending money. I like paying my bills.
Mm-hmm.
I like the ability to be able to pay my bills. So when I'm not in a position where I can pay my bills, I'm not in a good place. So I think that there's more of an emphasis on it now because more instructors are seeing that they themselves can be the entrepreneur and that entrepreneurism isn't so far away and that it doesn't have to look like that person or that person or that entity, and that you can find your own core tribe. So I think as people are able to spread their wings more, they're able to understand that I am an entrepreneur and I can make this thing rock however I want to, but I also need these tools. I may not have the resources for the tools. I may not even know what tools I need, but I know I need help. So just knowing that you need something is better than going through it blind trying to figure it out. You actually spend more money wasting on things that you don't need versus stopping and saying, yo, what do I need? Um, so it's just finding out what exactly is absolutely needed and maybe what to look out for, especially when it comes to systems, because we all like systems, right?
Mm-hmm.
But systems need to be worked. You got to go in the system. You got to create the system, and then you can automate the system. So that time and attention to detail, we don't want to do because it's not the fun, sexy part. The fun, sexy part is the client coming in and saying, hey, I saw your sign open. Like, when can I get a copy of your schedule? And then you go your spiel because that's your passion, that's your heart center. That's like what drives you. But the other stuff, not so much. But in order to keep the doors open, we have to do the other stuff, or at least know enough to outsource the other stuff.
There, bingo, bingo. Knowing when to ask for help, absolutely. I find a lot of entrepreneurs are scared to ask help or seek the right help, and or they don't want to spend the money. And I always think money not spent wisely is money wasted. So you may not see that happening, but you're wasting money and time because resources and stuff. I have another question for you. What are you most excited about with this conference this year?
So I have a story to tell real quick, like 2 minutes. So I actually quit my job last November. November 29th was my last day. I worked for a government agency here in the DMV, that's DC, Maryland, Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
for a local government agency in Virginia. And I begged them for 3 years to send me to the PMA. I was a group fitness coordinator for like the county, right? And they would not send me. Like they were sending like the swim department to like conferences, and the front desk was going to conferences. They send me nowhere, okay? So the thing I'm most excited about, and I hope there's an underlying meaning that's not too harsh for people, is that this year I'm speaking at the PMA. Like, I'm speaking at the conference that y'all wouldn't send me to, okay? The message behind that is if you know who you are, if you know what you represent, if you know your gifts, if you know what you stand on, if you know your audience, don't give up and don't let anyone or any entity stop you from that. Because you never know where you would be. I never would have dreamed I would be speaking at this conference. Never. So I'm excited about just showing up and being the person that was kind of not allowed in the space, through certain. I'm excited about connecting with people that I've seen like in magazines, because I used to buy equipment for the county. So yeah, I want to see the people that were inside these magazines, like, looking strong on these Pilates performers. I want to see presenters that I've seen doing workshops all over the world for the last few years. When it comes to my own personal education, there's a workshop on pelvic floor I'm extremely excited about, because as I get older and really start to hone in on what's important to me, as a woman, I'm 52 years old, I want other women to understand that your health is so important. And we carry all the things on our shoulders. So pelvic floor health is usually one of the things to go for us, and then bone density as well. But I want to really connect with that, because I'm now doing some gyrotonic and gyrokinesis training as well. And so it all is trying to come together in this little unit of how I can affect change in the world as a woman.
And also self-care for yourself, which is very important for all of us, because if we don't fill ourselves and care for ourselves, we can't follow our passion.
No, I'm glad you said that. I always tell people that there's no reason to build a business, a brand, or a legacy that you cannot enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be healthy enough to enjoy that thing.
Yeah. And as Joseph has always said, health is really important. He's written many articles on it. It's in his book, Controlology. So we're speaking exactly as, the Pilates industry should be standing on. But as ourselves, we should also remember it's important for ourselves, not just our clients. Well, Paula, I have thoroughly enjoyed our time together. I cannot wait to meet you in person. I am in your workshop.
Oh, you are in my workshop?
I am.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Is that okay? Is it okay?
No, it's like the pressure. I'm trying to be really light and easy with it, and I always try to have fun. But yeah, it's some big shoes to fill, because we are talking about the PMAs. It is an international conference. The best part about being at a conference is the networking for me. The face-to-face time, the conversations, the meals, like lunches and dinners and breakfasts. That's the critical time when you kind of get to network with people all over the world that have this similar kind of goal that you do, that their spirit speaks to you. So that's what I'm looking for the most, is to be able to connect with people from all over, because I'm a big connector. And if I'm someplace, I want to say, oh, I know somebody over there. Let me connect with them and see if we can do dinner or something. So
and that's the fun part, right? Is I love when people can connect and find common interests, and again, as you said, we're not competing against each other. We're just trying to make the world a better place, and the only way we can do that is being united. So congratulations again on your presenting for us at the Pilates Method Alliance. If you have not signed up, there's still time. We still have room for you. And if you have signed up and you did not sign up for this wonderful, wonderful workshop with Paula, I highly encourage it. We all can learn from each other. Paula has some amazing tools for us, and I'm just excited to have you there. So once again, we will be at the M Resort starting October 19th with our research forum, brand new layout. And then we open up on October 20th. Paula's presenting on the 21st. And the name of her workshop, one more time, is the 1, 2, 3s of marketing your fitness business. Again, thank you so much, Paula. I cannot wait to see you face to face.
Same. Thank you so much. I appreciate it all.
And stay safe.
All right. I'm in the hotel room. I'm good.
All right. I'll see you in a few weeks.
All right.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.